Welcome to Beyond the Drone, powered by Women in Drones. I am Desiree Eckstein, known as Drone Diva Desi in the industry, and I am so honored to have Grace Dahlstrom here with us. She's with Apellix, and this company is transforming drone operations in such unique and exciting ways. So I'm so excited to have you here with us. Grace, I'm going to turn it over to you for just kind of tell us a little bit about your background and how you started working with Apellix.
Absolutely. The honor is all mine. Thanks so much for having me, Desiree. I'm excited to be on this podcast. My background is I'm an attorney. I went to Berkeley Law before joining Apellix. I worked at Wall Street, Manhattan law firms doing corporate work, doing trust and estates for the billionaires of the world. And essentially, I transitioned into drone work because it's a family business. My father invented these drones about 12 years ago. And so it's taken some time. I've witnessed the blood, the sweat, the tears, very much firsthand, all of it. But Apellix is really taking off, and it made sense to make sure I could help with its liftoff. And it's exciting. It's so exciting. Something new is happening every single day.
Wow. Okay. Impressive background. Exciting. Yes, it is when you incorporate the family aspect of it. That is really huge. And so I bet you've seen a lot of exciting things and that hard work put into it. So tell us a little bit about Apellix and what is the vision for the company?
Absolutely. So Apellix manufactures drones in Florida. They clean, they paint. We aim to make one on inspections as well. So the goal is asset to cradle to grave asset management. So you have a tank, you have a tilt up warehouse for Amazon. How do you paint it? How do you clean it? How do you make sure there's no corrosion? How are you doing all of this? And how are you doing all of this in a much safer way than sending people up on lifts and scaffolding? How are you doing it in a much faster way than setting up lifts and scaffolding? And how are you doing it with just more automation and more technology? So you're doing a better job.
Yes, yes. And so you hit something really that's real core with me, and I want to touch on safety. So
Mhm.
how does Appellix and using the system really address that safety aspect? I'm sure there's multiple sides to this, but it's safety is just the core of everything.
It's significantly safer. So I didn't know this before joining Apellix, but according to the Bureau of Labor, someone dies in the United States every other day cleaning business buildings, which I thought was crazy. This is the United States. What do you mean every other day someone is dying? And so if you can eliminate fall risk, last week I was at a trade show and I was talking to someone who was like, "Oh, I wish I had this cleaning drone just last week. I fell off my roof cleaning. When I was cleaning, the ladder just collapsed out from underneath and I broke my legs."
Oh.
And this is just someone that I happened to be talking to on the street. They weren't in the cleaning business, they were just cleaning their roof and they broke their legs. So, when you can eliminate any fall risk and keep the drone operator boots on the ground, they stay safely on the ground, and then you send the drone to the dangerous heights instead. It makes operations safer.
So when you say sending that drone to that elevation and doing the work for you, how is that actually accomplished?
So you have a drone and you have an operator. People always get nervous, oh, drones are stealing our jobs, but you definitely always have the drone pilot. It's simply that they're safer by being on the ground. So your cleaning equipment, your painting equipment, all of that is quite heavy and all of that stays on the ground. And then there's a tether. You can see it there in my background. There's
Mm.
a tether that goes up to the drone, and that's bringing the cleaning solution, that's bringing the water, that's bringing the paint, depending on what type of drone you're using. And then the drone will spray it either with an airless spray system for the painting drone or with up to 4,000 psi of pressure for the cleaning drone.
Wow.
And it will go to places that have never been cleaned before and to hard to reach places and all of those dangerous high places as well.
And I was even going to ask, what is a PSI with this drone? And so trying to keep it stable and just the technology behind it is phenomenal.
Yeah. So for the cleaning drone, it's up to 4,000 psi. That's actually strong enough to chip paint off of buildings.
Wow.
So we recommend usually lowering the psi as well. The drone can do it all. It's strong if you want it. You can bring it down as low as 300 psi. I'd recommend that for windows. 4,000 psi is just going to go through all the window sealants.
Mm.
Um, but essentially, you control the pressure that the drone has. It has 8 motors and it takes over 500 calculations a second. So even though it's blasting 4,000 degrees of pressure, it's immensely stable and it's not moving backwards with the pressure at all.
Wow. Wow. So is the operator obviously on the ground, but are they remotely controlling it at the time? Is it an automated mission that they can put in to go
Yes,
do
they
this?
have a remote and they have a POV of what the drone sees. The drone has a camera. They can see everything that the drone sees, but you also normally are looking up. You're looking at the drone to see what it is that it's cleaning and it's painting.
Mm.
And then we also recommend having a pump person, someone who can work the tether, make sure the pump is giving the right amount of pressure, it's putting the right chemicals in, someone else as well that's doing the cleaning solution. And we just developed actually with the US Army a level of autonomy with our drones as well. So
Mm.
you can do autonomous cleaning section. We call it air trace. You can trace a section of the building and let's say a 40 by 40-foot square, you can determine the waypoints. Okay, this is incredibly dirty, so I need the drone to go very tight waypoints. Or, oh, I'm just doing a second rinse to wash off any remaining chemicals. It can be farther apart in where it sprays. You can, as a safety feature, make sure it never runs into the building by setting an invisible force field. So
Ah.
you can say, I never want to be closer than 3 meters to the structure. You can set all of those parameters and then it'll never break through that force field. And then you just press go and it automatically cleans.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is very exciting and I love hearing the technology side of things and all that. But do you have any examples that you can maybe share with us of this drone in action?
Absolutely. So we have examples of things I can show you of something that's never been cleaned before. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Oh, you know what? I probably need to do this. Let me know. Did that work for you?
Give me 1 second. All right, I can share my screen. You see yourself, and then I'll turn the volume down. This is an example of something that had never been cleaned before, actually. So here's the drone. This is in Israel, and this is an industrial coal mine. So essentially, they'd never cleaned it before because they didn't know how.
Mm.
Ideas that they had, okay, we can get an articulating arm to go on the side, and then can it clean? But there was no articulating arm that was long enough. One idea that they had was they could get sort of a boom lift and they could dangle someone from a rope with
Oh,
traditional pressure washing. Yeah, you can see why they didn't choose that option. Not the safest to dangle someone with a rope and just let them pressure wash by hand. And they also didn't want to send someone to stand on the roof because they had 30 years of built up coal ash. So, one, breathing in those fumes is toxic. You don't want to bring that in. Two, they didn't trust the structural integrity of the roof. Will it fall in? It has 30 years of built up ash. We don't know. So this had never been cleaned until they had aerial robotics. That is one of the exciting things about the drones. Here, I can stop sharing my screen. Another situation, Universal Studios has one of our drones, and during their training, they took us to Harry Potter Park. It was very cool because you have to do all the training on how the drones operate before the park works. So it's trainings at 2 in the morning before they let visitors into the park. And they took us to a part of Harry Potter world and said, "Do you see this? This has never been cleaned before. This is a moneymaker. Everyone loves Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, but there's no way we can reach this with traditional methods. We just absolutely can't reach it." But with aerial robotics, with a drone, with something that can fly and go to unusual places, now it can be cleaned. So that's incredibly cool whenever it's something's first time being cleaned.
wow. Yes, and yes, I like Harry Potter. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love the examples that you are sharing. I love that. And it just makes it real world of, how this can be used and the value that it has to offer. Tell us a little bit about maybe some of the opportunities that are available in expanding. I love thinking outside the box, and that's just right where this goes. And so tell us some about the opportunities that could be available.
There are so many opportunities. This is around the world. It's in 5 continents. So it's cleaning rugby stadiums in Australia. It's cleaning NFL stadiums in the United States, soccer over in, Glasgow in the United Kingdom. It's cleaning solar panels in Africa, that Middle Eastern coal mine that I just showed you. Anything you can think of, the Ritz-Carlton in Florida, anything you can think of that can be cleaned with drone technology. It simply makes it a little bit faster and a little bit safer. And our painting drone is newer to the scene. So it's only been out for the last several months. And there, where we're seeing its use case is certain cities are purchasing it to clean up graffiti along the side of a highway. Any tilt-up warehouse is a perfect example. It's a simple structure, but it's just a large, vast expanse that needs painted. That's something where contractors are seeing a lot of return on investment.
So does someone have to have a specific certification or anything along those lines to fly this unit?
Yeah, so any drone divas that don't know, you need a pilot, you need a 107 to fly a drone. Um,
Okay.
Ours is in the 55-pound weight class category. You need your 107. We can help you obtain that, but obviously that's done through the government. We don't give 107 licenses, but we also give training because drones can be dangerous. We want to make sure you know how to use it. So University of Florida is also one of our customers, and they asked us to make a remote training system that they can send all of their pilots through. So thank you, UF. Now everyone gets that for free. We made it for you and everyone benefits. Yeah, because we want people to be safe. We want you to know how to use the drone. So we actually make everyone go through Apellix Academy, the remote training system, before they can even pick up their drone. It has 16 modules, it has quizzes, it has PowerPoints. At the end, you get a certificate. And the beautiful thing about being online is you forget, you can log back on. Let's say you're the asset owner, you're not the drone pilot. You can make your pilots go through this every year as a compliance issue, just to make sure that they're keeping up on their training. And then also, in addition, we do hands-on training as well.
Oh, I bet that's necessary. Right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, beyond even this is how we fly the unit, filling
Mhm.
it and the chemical percentages and such like that, that probably has a huge impact on it, especially when we're talking about the one with the painting.
Mhm.
Because I know when you're trying to push out PSI, trying to push out the paint, you need to have that specific ratio. And so, is that part of the program when we're learning?
The painting is an even higher PSI than the cleaning one. The cleaning is
Okay.
4,000, painting is double that. And that one has a lot more automation. So it also comes with training. But unlike the cleaning drone, where you can do air trace, where it cleans itself and you'll trace a section of the building and it'll automatically clean, but you don't have to. You have to get a level of software autonomy with our painting drone. Otherwise, you're going to have drips, you're going to have holidays. That's what painters call it when there's the little gaps and spaces in the paint. So there's a lot more automation on that one just to make sure you're doing a good job.
Mm.
Um, there's sub-centimeter level accuracy. The drone has to get incredibly close to the structure, incredibly close. The paint has to get very, very close. So only when you're at the perfect speed, the perfect perpendicularity, and everything is set, it'll automatically start spraying, and then it'll automatically stop when it gets to the top of the structure. And then the pilot sort of does stripes, either vertical or horizontal stripes.
Ah. So what is the elevation that this will go?
Mhm. That's basically a regulatory issue. So because the drone is in the 55-pound weight class category, when you go over that, you have to ask for permission from the government, and that can be a bit of a pain.
Mm.
So our drone, the cleaning drone, is the lightest on the market. It's 21.5 pounds, 9 something kilos for anyone outside of the US. And once in 20, it's in the 25 pound kilo threshold. So once you start bringing up the hose, once you start bringing up the water, you hit that regulatory threshold around 195 feet when you're soft washing, around 150 feet when you're power washing, and then closer to 200 or 220 when you're painting.
Oh, I, this is a time where I want to say, I know this is pre-recorded, but I can imagine that the audience watching at this moment that they have a lot of questions. And so I'm super excited. I just want to encourage people to ask because this is so innovative and it's exciting and the opportunities that are available is amazing. And you think outside the box because this is a solution to it. And so it's very exciting. Okay, I'm going to be honest, we had a nice little conversation offline. And you shared with me something that I feel is very exciting. Can you tell the audience that is watching right now a little bit about some of the most recent things that you've been doing?
Absolutely. So Desiree and I were talking just before this because last week I wasn't very available. I was in Miami for Sea Trade Global. It's the largest United States cruise line industry conference. And it was really fun because you have the ports and the cruises from all over the world and their performances. But we were the only drone company there. And so everyone found it incredibly exciting because this drone can clean cruise ships. And
Wow.
so one thing that's really nice about that is you can clean while you're out to sea. You don't have to wait until you're in dry dock. So reducing time spent in dry dock is something that's very important to the cruise industry, something important to the Navy. Is there any maintenance work that they can do when they're out to sea washing those windows? And you can. Or you can do it at port as well. So some of our operators were the drone manufacturer at Apellix. Some of our operators in Southampton were cleaning Carnival Cruise 2 weeks ago, and then just for a demonstration. And then we are doing one with them as well for a demonstration. Probably next week. We were trying to get it while we were down in Miami for the cruise ship, but we didn't get the regulatory FAA basically acceptance in time. But anything you can think of being cleaned, including the cruise ship industry. So it's such a fun trade show because no one knew that drones could come and clean or paint their ships' holes. So everyone is very excited, like, oh, this is the future. This is so cool.
This is it. It is. And what a use case, and then for you to say that you can actually do it when you're out to sea.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. What type of hurdles do you have as far as the regulatory side of things?
So there's a lot of hurdles when it comes to ports, and that's something that you need to be aware of. So in the United States, it's the National Defense Authorization Act compliance, NDAA. If you want to work with the federal government, if you want to work in certain states, Apellix is based in Florida, so Florida is one of those states. I mentioned earlier that University of Florida is one of our customers. They're lawyers. We're all over this thing. Because believe it or not, Florida's regulations are actually more stringent than the federal government's, which is surprising to me. So if you want to work in the Port of Miami, guess what? That's owned by the state of Florida. You have to be National Defense Authorization Act compliant to fly a drone. No choices. You literally don't have a choice on that. It has to be. And so that means that we don't use certain Chinese components, certain Chinese parts. There's basically a long list of cybersecurity measures that you have to do to be NDAA compliant. And then also, as I'm sure you know, maybe the drone divas don't know, as of February 22nd, 2025, the FCC also changed drone regulations that they have to be American made, American made, American made. So if you want to operate in the Port of Miami, you have to go use American made drone.
Hmm. So I'm assuming you've met all those hurdles. And so if somebody wanted to maybe take this on as their career path or wanted to get started in it, what are some of the steps that you would recommend?
What career path in particular? The mechanical engineer aspect, the software engineer aspect, the drone operator aspect, the build a business entrepreneur aspect. There's so many different aspects.
Okay, well, you just answered that question that there are so many opportunities, right?
Yes.
And when we say think outside the box, there you go. There's many, many opportunities. So I'm a drone pilot and I'm thinking, I really want to go this direction. What would be my steps that I want to take?
So it's sort of like a business in a box that you can get for under $75,000 if you're not in the cleaning industry, if you're not in the painting industry. The drone is $47,000 starting off. The NDA compliant one is 60. And then if you're a cleaner, you'll already have the cleaning ground equipment, your pumps, your tanks, your Honda engines, your deionized water filters. But if you're not a cleaner, then you would need to get the rig system as well. So Apellix is designed specifically if you're in the cleaning business or the painting business. You don't have to buy anything new. We're not going to force you to buy any drone specific proprietary cleaning solution. You can just hook up to the equipment you already have. But if you are starting completely from scratch, you also need to get the cleaning equipment as well. So you can get all of that for around $75,000. And it's sort of like a business in a box. So we had one example. We have a whole wall of Apellix millionaires at our office. So these are people that they bought that drone, 47,000. They went out and they made over $1 million in revenue that year. Just when I was at Sea Trade Global, we had a customer from Australia fly in to talk to us, and we found out we had to add them to the wall of Apellix millionaires. So we have someone new to add to our wall. But a good example is someone, they bought the B2, $47,000. They put an ad out on Facebook Marketplace and they got a bid to clean a tank. I can share my screen of tank cleaning.
We would love that.
Give me 1 second to just pull it up.
So, while you're bringing it up, these are also seen on YouTube, correct?
Yes, you can see this on YouTube. So this is an example. This is one of our customers in Michigan, but here you can see an above ground storage tank. This is really a good use case for the drone because they're usually under that 200 feet threshold where you then hit the 55-pound weight limit. You can see where it is cleaning. There's the before and after. It looks much, much cleaner. It's nice to clean a tank because they're usually coated with very, very, very expensive paint, specialty coatings. And if you can clean it, you can extend the life of the coating by several years. So that's usually why people want to clean tanks. But a different customer, not this customer, they put a bid out to clean a tank for $10,000. Cleaned this in an afternoon. So you can clean one of these tanks in 4 to 6 hours with about $400 worth of chemicals. So they cleaned this in an afternoon. And the asset owner who had the tank farm was so happy. They said, we'll give you every single tank farm in Louisiana, or every single tank that we have in our farm in the state of Louisiana. So he walked away with a $2 million contract. And the asset owner was thrilled because previously it cost them $4 million to clean the tanks in that tank farm. So whether you're the asset owner and you're saving $2 million or you're the drone operator and you're getting a contract for $2 million, that's something you can clean one tank in one afternoon for $10,000. And the reason the asset owner gave it to our client is because previously it cost $20,000 per tank. So they could do it in half the price. And it took 10 days instead of an afternoon. So when you have to, I'll pause the video. When you have to set up lift and scaffolding equipment around the entire tank, it takes significantly longer to set up all of that equipment. That equipment, we've also heard some of our operators say, can be 70% of the cost of a job. So if you can eliminate 70% of your costs just in one fell swoop, okay, I don't need scaffolding anymore. I don't need to rent scaffolding. You can make significantly more money and you can also do things significantly faster. So that's really where we see a lot of return in investment.
Wow, what an opportunity. That
Yeah, we had one mom buy one of these for her sons. It was so cute. She basically said, okay, you just graduated college. Here's your graduation gift. Go out. Here's a business in a box for 75K.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love stories. There's another great one. So what do you see on the horizon? What is the future look like for the company?
One thing, so we just got our painting drone sort of out in the market a few months ago. So one thing in the horizon is definitely just getting more of them to market. For the wash drone, we're already there. There's hundreds in over 20 countries and literally every single continent except for Asia. We haven't cracked Asia yet, but going in that direction for the painting drones as well. And then after that, we're also working on the next one would probably be an inspection drone. So non-destructive testing. This would be for corrosion control. And this is something we're currently talking with the United States government to sort of fund. We actually find out in 2 days if we make it through the next hurdle. We made it through the first hurdle. They liked all of our paperwork. They liked our ideas. They liked everything. So the final hurdle, we'll find out actually in 2 days if we made it. So if we make that, that is definitely the next on the horizon is our non-destructive testing drone and working with them to
Wow.
build it.
That is exciting stuff on the horizon as well. Oh my gosh, yes. So 2 days. Hopefully, we'll be watching you on social media and you'll be celebrating, right? Oh, fantastic. So, as we get close to wrapping things up here, you just kind of shared some of the product updates that you have. Is there anything that you wanted to share with people that may be watching right now, or some encouragement that you may want to share with us?
So those are some product updates, but if you ever want to see the drone, if you ever want to fly it yourself, we have events about every quarter. So on May 1st, we're having a spray painting drone event. So we're going to graffiti our warehouse. We're going to have some artists come and graffiti the structure and make it look, make it basically trash it. And then we'll bring the drone in to cover up the graffiti in real time and we'll let people fly and see how easy it is to fly and give them the opportunity to fly our spray painting drone. So that's May 1st, 2026. Who knows when you're going to be watching this, but we do this every quarter. So if you go onto your website and fill in a contact us form, you'll get updates on when is our next event. I think our next one after the spray painting event on May 1st, we're talking to one of the universities out in Malibu about doing an event there because we've never done one on the West Coast. So we'd
Ooh,
like to say hi to our West Coast friends.
that's me. Wow, that'll be exciting. So yes, this will be out before your event. So hopefully you get some people that would be interested in talking with you more. And then I love that you have other ones planned for the future. That's fantastic. I will put in our information from the YouTube video, all of your contact information, the website, and ways to reach out to you, and links to those videos as well. And so that way they can check it out a little bit more detailed. So, um, well, as we wrap it up, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And do you have any words of encouragement for the audience that's actually watching right now? Just get out there, think outside the box, kind of a thing.
Definitely. Drones feel like they're still somewhat the Wild West. There's still so much evolution that's happening in them, whether that's regulatory evolution, if you're interested. I'm an attorney, so I find that part quite interesting. If you're in the software or the mechanical engineering aspect, the level of autonomy that our software engineers have built is beautiful and astounding. There's so much interesting things that you can do on the horizon. I met someone at that trade show in Miami who was a University of Miami student who was interested in entrepreneurship and the cruise industry in particular. So that's perfect. It can just be you going out, buying a drone, and you can build an entire business around it. So there's so much opportunity to be had in the drone space. It really just depends on what your interests are. Are you interested in being the entrepreneur? Are you interested in being the software developer? It's not all the drone pilot. You could be a production manager where you're saying chop chop. This is where how the assembly line works for the drones. There's so many different ways that you can get involved in the drone industry. So that keeps it exciting.
Yes, yes. And I love that you had just touched on that and you touched on it during the conversation as well, because there are so many different aspects to the industry. And so, well, Grace, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Very exciting stuff on the horizon for what you are doing. And so I hope people reach out and get as excited about it as I am. That's for sure.
Thanks, Desiree, and hopefully we'll see you at our California event as well.
I count me in. Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.